If you love what we do, then please consider supporting CryptFail on Patreon. Your support helps us grow and to create more content more often. And now, on with the show.
Is she gonna make it to Cornerstones before Terry rolls his ass out of bed? No? Okay. Terrence is gonna roll his ass out of bed. Around noon. He's gonna look at the clock and go, oh shit! And then he's gonna hustle over to Cornerstones. And he'll see Wren there. And he'll order some food. And he'll be like, hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. How are you?
Tired.
Yeah.
He stayed up pretty late thinking about how to get Dr. Becca to lower the rent money on the boarding house.
Come up with anything?
Business doctor, it sounds pretty sketchy, so I'm hoping I can just talk at her until she goes, yeah, okay, fine, just be quiet.
All right.
And a fairy comes over with a plate of food.
We didn't know if you wanted breakfast or lunch, so we got you a bit of both. Bye!
Huh? Oh.
Oh, that's so sweet, thank you.
What did they bring you?
There's some sausages, there's some eggs, there's like half a tuna sandwich with those little green onions on it, or those chives. I don't know, it looks good.
Huh. Brunch, I guess.
Sure, why not? And Terrence is just eating his brunch. He's got some coffee.
Yeah, Wren's still drinking coffee. They look like they're setting up for Christmas.
Yeah, it'll probably be a very decorated event. I'm excited.
I don't know what they're gonna put in here, but they're measuring all kinds of stuff, so...
Oh. Gotta make sure the tree
elaborate.
fits.
Oh, true.
It's weird for Cipher to not be here yet.
I haven't heard from her.
Terrence is gonna pull out his phone and send a text out to Cipher. And it reads, hey girlie, where you at?
She knows you're supposed to look at that house soon, right?
Well, she was there when I made the phone call, theoretically. Though she could have forgotten it's Cipher after all.
About 5 minutes after you send the message, you get a message back, and there's a photo attachment. There's no comment. And the photo is of the front porch of the house.
Oh dang,
With the
she's
front
already
door wide
there.
open.
She's already there? Okay, then she knows you're not supposed to be there yet, right?
Terrence turns his phone around to face Wren, and he's like, I think she might have broken in.
Oh no.
And he, like, quickly shovels the rest of the food into his face. Finishes off his coffee. Leaves some credits on the table, and he's like, you want to come with me and try and suss out how bad this is?
Yeah, I want to see what she's done to that door. Let's go.
And he's already calling George on his way out the door. And he's like, George, we very desperately need a ride to that boarding house.
Okay, I'll be right there.
Thank you.
I mean, she did seem really excited about moving in.
There's excitement and there's insanity. I'm not sure how much I can talk down this real estate agent if Cipher's broken into the house. Oh, wait, maybe.
You could try. The house is. It's already been broken into.
It's
We're
not
worried
very
it's not that
secure.
secure. Exactly.
That's
I
a
can
good
smash
angle.
a window for you if you want.
Maybe not that extensive. I don't know how much we can trust her to replace it.
Yeah, it could work out great. Or not. I guess that's true of most things Cipher does.
Still, I would prefer Cipher not to get caught if she's broken into the house.
Yeah, at least not without somebody there better able to explain her out of it.
Is everyone too afraid to continue?
Is George
We're
here?
waiting for George to show
Yeah.
up.
Oh.
Terrence is tapping his foot nervously.
When did he say he'd be here?
He said he'd be right over. I think he got the impression that I was a little panicked. I mean, that happens easily, but still.
Okay.
And he arrives.
Terrence basically launches himself into the back seat.
Wren will get in very quickly as well.
Thank you for showing up so quickly, George. I don't know what she's done, but it might jeopardize our boarding house, and it's not good.
I will get there as fast as I can without drawing attention.
Yes,
Sounds
please.
good. She needed to break into somewhere. She could have invited me.
Terrence kind of smiles weakly at that. And then he goes back to being nervous. He's trying not to fidget so much now that he's in the taxi, though. He doesn't want to distract George.
And it takes about 20 minutes before you arrive, but he pulls up out front.
Thank you, George. And Terrence is like, he gets out of the other side of the car because he doesn't want to rush Wren out.
No, she's getting out quite quickly still.
And he gets out and he stands on the sidewalk and he looks at the house. Is the front door still open?
The front door is wide open, and all the windows are
All the windows.
wide open as well.
She never closes the door. Whether it's hers or not.
Terrence sends her a text. He's like, get outside right now.
And you can hear a sort of a giggle come from around, you think, around the back of their house?
Is she in the backyard?
Do you want to run around and check? I'll keep guard out here for anything.
Okay. Wren's gonna head around the house into the backyard. Is Cipher there?
Cypher's laying on the ground. She's dressed in her pink snowsuit. And she's sort of lying there on her back with her arms up in the air, and she has this black thing in her hands.
Cipher.
And she looks up. Wren!
What are you doing?
I'm playing with Wren.
What?
And she brings down this black thing that's like scrawny looking. You notice that it's a kitten. A very small, furry, scrawny looking kitten. And she says, Wren, meet Wren.
Okay, so you broke into a house you haven't rented yet, and you have a kitten, and the kitten's name is Wren. Okay, good. Let's go.
Are you not pleased?
I'm... about which bit? The cat's great. I love the cat. Wonderful cat. You can't break into a house you haven't rented yet, Cipher. They're not going to let you rent it.
That was just a small window. That's not
No.
like it couldn't be replaced.
Oh, did you break a window?
Yeah, next to the door.
Oh, good. Great. Okay, why don't we go talk to Terry? Because he's a little worried. Does that sound good?
What? Terrence is here? Why is he worried?
Because you sent a picture of the house with the door open when you're not supposed to be in the house yet.
And she's sort of like looking, she's thinking. But aren't we moving into the house?
Maybe not, considering you broke the window. It all depends on if we can convince them that it wasn't you. Alright, let's go talk to Terry and see if we can fix this.
It's not like anyone was living there. I mean, look at the neighborhood. I mean, for Christ's sake. I mean, anyone can break in. I mean, if anything, we should get a discount.
Becca,
Well-
the player is incredibly stressed out by this situation. I got my feet up on my chair again. It's just not
Cipher?
okay.
Cypher, we're not worrying about a discount right now. We are going to go talk to Terry and see if we can fix this so that you can still rent the house, okay? And then I will be more happy about this cat later, because the cat is very cute.
Did she? Yeah, she's just the cutest little wren ever.
Yes. Perfect. All right, come on. We're going back around the house.
She unzips her front and she puts the kitten down inside her like Parker-looking snowsuit, and she zips it back up. And
All
she
right.
follows
Come on.
Wren
Who will walk back over to Terry.
when she's skipping along.
Terry! You'll never guess.
One of those windows is
She did break a
broken. I
window.
bet I can guess. Yep. All right.
And there's another Wren. Cipher, explain?
And you can hear this meow coming from within her shirt, and she unzips and pulls out this scrawny-looking little cat.
Cipher has a cat now.
Kitten.
Terrence
That's a
is
kitten.
like,
It's the cutest little wren you've ever seen.
he's bending his knees a little bit, and he's like running both of his hands over his head and through his hair, dislodging all kinds of bobby pins again.
Okay,
And
so
he's like, all right. And he stands up and he's like pacing a little bit back and forth now. He's like, all right.
Cipher, did you move anything in the house or put anything in the house? This is important.
Just a bedroll. I just wanted to see if I could spend the night, just to get a feel for the place.
Okay.
I mean, what's the point in, applying for a place if you can't sleep in it?
We'll worry about your logic later. Can you go grab anything you put in the house, please, and bring it back out here?
All right. Cipher, I have a plan. I need you to go back to your apartment and start packing. How does that sound? Maybe stop by a shop, get some stuff for your, very cute trash gremlin.
Wren the trash gremlin.
Terrence looks like he's about to snap.
Cipher,
What a great
Like one of his
name.
eyes is
You are
twitching.
Cipher,
Brilliant, Terrence. Absolutely brilliant.
it's fantastic. You need to get your stuff from inside because we are going to make sure it doesn't look like anybody was in there, and then we're going to close all the windows and doors again, and then when the real estate agent gets here, we're going to say we found the window broken.
I disagree with
good?
that.
No?
No.
Okay, what are
she
we gonna
needs, She needs to take her bedroll and whatever other personal effects she left in there. But we're going to leave it all open. And I'm going to call the real estate agent as soon as George leaves with Cipher so Cipher can go pack.
Okay.
And we are going to negotiate the hell out of this deal.
Sounds good.
Cipher walks up next to Wren. She's like sliding up against her, and she goes, "Wren, do you want to look after little Wren here?"
Yes?
And she holds up the kitten. So they get meow.
Okay. Terry, will this complicate things?
A little. George,
Yeah.
are you okay babysitting a trash gremlin for a little bit?
It's a cat.
Okay, my first question was, what the hell's a trash gremlin?
It's a kitten. It's really cute.
He starts this kind of nervous chuckling. His eyes are too big, and he's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, it should be alright.
Good. Okay,
No.
Cipher, can you take that Wren? And you and Wren are gonna go with George and go pack your stuff.
Why?
Because you wanted to move, right? You gotta pack your stuff.
How are you supposed to get a feel for the place you're gonna live in unless you have your proper bed in there?
I don't need a proper bed. I can sleep anywhere.
How are you gonna
Okay.
sleep there without the worrying of your computer setup?
Okay. Well,
Terrence's eye is twitching again.
You at least have to go get some things to take care of this tiny cat because this cat needs to eat and it needs a bed and all kinds of things. Do you have any money? Why don't you go to a pet store?
I just went. Well, I didn't go to the pet store. I went to the rescue.
Yes, but they don't
Place.
sell pet supplies, which is what you need.
No, but they give away free kittens.
Wonderful.
Well, it wasn't actually free. It was about 150, but still, because she's all vaccinated and shit, and she's got a little microchip in her too.
That
It's
is
just the
wonderful.
cutest little thing.
That is just so wonderful, Cipher. All right, pack or get pet supplies. It's up to you, but one of those should happen.
Okay, I think.
Wonderful. That's just great.
All right, you hold Wren. I'll go inside and get me bedroll.
Okay, I will hold Wren. And Wren will take Wren.
Cipher runs inside. She's sort of like skipping along. She comes back out with a rolled up bedroll.
All right, and you didn't leave anything else in the house?
There might be a little kitty accident in one of the rooms.
Okay, that...
We'll blame that on the doors being open.
yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, I'll give you a call shortly, Wren. Or, Cipher. Help. I'll call you as soon as it's settled. Before you go, what can you afford per month, rent-wise?
At this rate, it depends on how much money we're going to be getting.
How
I'm gonna
much
have to
was your
come up with
last place?
a different model.
Because they didn't evict you.
No, I think it was 600 a month.
It would
Isn't
be
it
per week.
600 a week?
Oh, 600 a week.
Yes.
Yep, 600 a week. That's it.
All right. I'll see what I can do. We'll see you soon, Cipher.
Yep. You sure you're going to be alright with this? You don't want me around to just talk to this Dr. Becca?
Are you gonna tell her that you broke in to get a scope of the house? 'Cause that'll get us arrested. And then we definitely won't live here.
She opens up her mouth as if to reply, puts a finger up in the air, and she lowers it. Her face goes expressionless.
Cipher, I need you to understand something. And he goes up and he puts both hands on her shoulders. Lone Star could get involved with something like this. And that is the last thing we need because Lone Star will probably kill us.
If they're showing up, I'm leaving, just so you know, and not helping negotiate anything.
That's fair.
Okay, just so long as we've got that clear.
Uh-huh. So, Cipher, I am sending you away as much for your own protection as all of our protection, okay?
Okay.
And here, you need to protect this very small cat, okay?
She looks a little bit dejected. She takes Wren.
Terrence pats her on the head, but at the same time, he's still kind of upset. He wants to strangle her still for being so ridiculous.
Cipher, it's fine. We'll see you soon.
There's a big grin on my face from Terry's, frustration.
Of course there is. It's
Cipher
only
hops into the back. Hey?
It's only because he can tell it's real frustration. I'm so
I'm sorry.
tense right now. I'm so
sorry.
tense.
Very sorry.
Adam, how could you?
I'm sorry.
What do you mean? How could me? What? I didn't do anything. It was Cipher.
Cipher is your intellectual property.
Yep.
Hey, I do not support or condone any actions made by my character.
There are days I think Adam is Cipher's intellectual property.
I'm all crouched up like Gollum on my chair here.
I'm sorry.
It's funny because I'm sitting in my chair and my legs are swinging backwards and forwards.
No, of course they are.
Cipher gets into the back of the taxi and she whispers something to George.
George, for the love of God, please don't do anything I wouldn't do.
He gives you a wave and takes off. Question.
Mm-hmm.
How close is this building to Marla's?
The fence to the graveyard is also the fence to the yard of this house.
So very close.
Why?
What is this laughter about?
So you see George drives off about 10 feet and stops.
Oh, he's taking her to mom. Really? She wants to go there? I thought it terrified her.
I didn't realize it was so close.
We did discuss it. Terrence tried to pick this house because he thought he could knock down whatever the asking price was for it being beside a cemetery.
Yeah.
And I knew how far away it was, but I just thought it would be funny to hear it.
Of course.
And it was when Adam realized.
Why does she want to go there?
Reasons?
I know, this is Wren asking, not Emily.
Terrence
Wren
is
watching the
You-
taxi.
Are you calling out to...
No, she's asking Terrence.
Terrence
Cypher's
is
gone.
Terrence is staring at the taxi and he's like, the only thing that could make this situation worse is if Dylan showed up. I mean, that might make it better, but it would just... there's...
Maybe we can blame the break-in on Dylan?
Terrence pulls out his phone and he's like, I need to call the real estate agent. Hang
Okay,
on. Let me get my panic voice on.
Okay.
And he's calling her.
Cipher gets out of the taxi and she runs up and you can see her knocking on Marla's door.
Which is usually open.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, she's not going to enter a house. Oh, well.
Really? She's not? She's not
I
going to
think so.
enter a house
Yeah.
uninvited?
Not this one.
Cipher breaks into a house by smashing a window, but if someone lives there, she knocks.
Yeah, powerful Banshee. There's a difference.
There is a big difference in
True,
Cipher's mind.
true.
Yeah.
Terry, you can roll me a white dice.
I'm so scared. Holy
It's
shit.
okay. It's okay.
Trust the Dice Maiden. We did bribe her.
Terry's looking terrified, and Wren's like, "It's fine. I can back you up on anything. I'm really good at lying."
Don't trust in the Don't trust in the light.
Okay, so Terry's got the phone up to his ear, I assume,
Yep.
and glances over his shoulder at the fence, and there's 4 skeletons looking over. They've got their hands on top of the fence, and they're just standing there looking at you.
Terrence has been looking like really worried and tense this entire time, and he just turns. His expression doesn't change, and he stares back at them.
Can we help you?
I know.
Oh, great. Okay.
No,
Thanks.
It's good. It's good. They can hang out and watch this unfold. It'll be good.
Hello, Becca. Oh, Becca. Yeah, right. God damn, 'cause I'm looking at the name on the thing there, and I thought, wait, no, I'm reading that, not... I thought I actually brained myself there, but that's what I want. Becca Real Estate.
Hello. This is Terrence. I called the other day. We set up a meeting for today. We showed up a little bit early because we were excited. And guess what?
What?
Somebody broke into your boarding house, and there are 3 skeletons hissing at us
There's
from the
4.
cemetery. 4.
There's 4 skeletons.
There's 4 now. There's more skeletons.
We've asked the church if they can do something about that.
Uh-huh. Right. It's 1:30 now. Could you possibly come over in the next 10 minutes or so, and we can talk about this more? 'Cause I am concerned about this property.
I'll try.
All right. We're going to wait on the sidewalk and stay away from the house because all of the windows are open. The door is open. One of the windows is broken. I'm not impressed with the security measures this far.
Okay.
And he hangs up. And he looks back over at the skeletons. Raises an eyebrow. You guys are just here for the show then?
I mean, it sounds like it'd be good if you could stay. So, just hang out there, maybe.
They look at Wren. They look at Terry.
Great. Great.
Their bones click when they turn their head to look.
Glad we've had this chat. Okay, so she shows up. What then? What are we gonna do? Like, be terrified? Be annoyed? What's the deal?
The deal is worried and indignant, and this property better be a damn low price for all this nonsense kind of deal. Bring
Okay.
up the fact that we will make it public if we don't get this property, and nobody will want to buy it.
Why am I here, by the way? Because I'm not a prospective renter, so...
Back up.
No, I meant, like, if she asks.
Well, you're roughly the same height as Cipher.
Got it. I'm Cipher. I'm terrified of skeletons. And... perfect.
How's your Irish accent?
We're not gonna try that. If any questions come up, it's just a phase that I forget to do sometimes.
Got it.
I wonder where she got that cat.
Well, it looked like a stray, to be completely honest. It's part of why I called it a trash gremlin.
It's got huge ears.
It's very cute. I do
It
like
really is.
cats. It's
I
just...
don't know why she named it Wren.
It's Cipher.
Okay, that's fair.
Terrence looks thoughtful for a second, and then he's like, cats really shouldn't exist in a house by themselves. They should have cat buddies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That is true. Huh.
To all the solo cats living in households out there, we're sorry.
This has been a public service announcement. Get your cat a friend.
Yep. Your cat deserves a friend.
Oh, I don't know about anyone else, but I always feel like extremely guilty leaving a pet alone in a house while I go off to work.
Yeah.
And a few minutes later, a decent car pulls up. And this attractive middle-aged woman gets out.
Terrence has got his best disgruntled customer face on.
Wren is kind of standing slightly behind Terrence and shooting frightened-looking glances at the skeletons every once in a while.
And she walks up and says, I got the standard contract. Oh my god, I hate it when those guys are there.
Are they here often?
This house is online under one of the most haunted in Seattle.
You don't say. That was
So
not
that's not
in the
really...
ad.
Well, that's not really a surprise. I'm willing to cut you a deal, but that's not old. That's not new news. Everyone, a little bit of research. This graveyard, this church, and you're living next to that house.
Oh, what house?
Graveyards usually don't have their occupants crawling out of the ground and invading your yard.
Well, that might normally have been the case, but ever since we had the rifts open and all this weirdness returned to the world, there they are.
But somebody broke in. Was it one of the skeletons?
I don't know.
Are we going to have to worry about this on a regular basis if we move in? The price is going
Quite
to have
possibly.
to be very generous if this is the case. And I mean, what would really happen to this property if it became public knowledge that skeletons were breaking in on a regular basis? Breaking
Well, it
windows,
is-
even.
It is pretty much common knowledge.
Oh, so this house has been on the market for a while then?
Yeah, for a little bit. As I said, I'm willing to cut a deal.
And what is this deal?
It will be one increment level below. So whatever we said was, this would normally be moderate, like what you're paying now. It would be the one below. It would be low.
400 a week.
Isn't it 300?
Instead of,
I thought it was 4 and then 6 and then some
I
higher.
thought it was 369.
I thought it was 369.
Oh, okay.
I think.
So 300 each a week then? Or is that the...
Yeah.
Huh.
But none of the previous tenants ever said the skeletons entered the house, or even entered the yards, or even left the graveyard. They will occasionally do this. I don't know if they're bored or something.
One of them has an iPad.
Well, they need a hobby.
That's weird. Why does it have an iPad?
Yeah.
I don't know, they freak me out.
Well, yeah. They're terrifying.
And they look at each other. Look back at you.
So,
Oh, sorry.
1,200 a month?
I am happy with that.
Well, I guess we could do that.
Alright. What are your policies on the upkeep of the house?
We will replace and repair anything that is related to age of the house and things like if the electrics require replacing, if the appliances need replacing,
Burglary?
we will cover anything like that. The rest of the actual, and we accept fair wear and tear from living in it. Any damage, if you damage the appliances, cause damage to the house, things like that, that will be your requirement.
What about windows smashed before we've even moved in?
If that's the case, I will fix the window.
Very fair and generous. Well, despite electronics holding hissing skeletons as neighbors, it does sound like a really good deal.
Yeah.
Are you opposed to us installing our own security systems?
As long as it won't damage the house if you decide to remove them when you leave.
Fair enough. Alright. Comes with appliances already in it. Fridge, stove, washer, dryer.
Nothing flash, but they're functional and they work.
Alright.
Sounds good.
What papers would we need to sign?
And she hands over the real estate agreement, which you can read through if you want. Basically, it says exactly what she said.
With probably a little bit more legal jargon.
Yeah, there's definitely like legalese, but looking through it doesn't sound like she's saying one thing and the paperwork says another.
Alright. He'll flip through it quickly and then he'll sign his name on the dotted line.
She seems to buy cheap properties that are cheap for a reason, hence being a fool in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Across the way, you hear this.
Bye, Marla.
And Cipher
No.
skipping out of the front of Marla's house. She's got her black kitten is on her left shoulder and she's carrying a book under her left arm. And she stops on the Marla's porch, looks over to you guys, gives a big wave, and then skips and jumps into the back of the taxi with George.
Okay. And Terrence hands over a first and last check that he writes up from a pad he pulls from his bag. Along with the signed papers.
And she signs it. Thank you. And she gives you the keys, 2 sets.
He kind of looks at them and then the open and possibly broken door. And then he looks back at her and he's like, so when will this be ready to move into?
Give me a couple of days. I'll have to get the tradesmen. They don't all want to come out here.
Got it. Alright. Couple days. Gives me enough time to pack up. Thank you for doing business with us.
Thank you.
I genuinely hope I don't have to call you for anything like this again.
I hope so. I hate coming here.
Terrence looks like confused for a second because he's like, if you hate coming here, why'd you buy it?
It was cheap. It was up for auction. Got it for a steal.
Sounds like it.
Alright. I'll make a mental note to actively take steps to not need to call you for repairs. This house is hooked up for cable and internet of the city, right? It's not one of those freestanding ancient houses that don't have any.
No, there's Wi-Fi.
Okay, good.
Or cable.
Alright, thank you again. And he will start walking up the street because George is gone with Cipher.
Yep, you sent them away.
Wren's gonna follow Terry on the way by the skeleton. She's gonna quietly apologize for saying they were terrifying, because they're not.
And they watch you go.
Okay, bye.
I wonder how Cipher's gonna take that.
Take what?
Well, I just paid for first and last. She technically owes me 1,200 credits.
Well, I don't think she has any right now. So...
Nah, it's alright. I'll just get her to help with paying the rest of the rent when it starts coming up. She can take care of that crazy critter she picked up.
I'd
For the
offer to
time
lend her
being.
some, but I don't have any money either.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to pay Fennyman back.
We need a job that pays,
Yeah,
where the employer doesn't get murdered.
Yeah. That was incredibly not good.
Yeah, it really wasn't. Did they actually leave, or are they just still outside Mala's house?
Oh, they left.
Oh, good.
Terrence is walking back in the direction of Cornerstones, but is pretty far away, so he's also scoping out the area for like coffee shops and grocery stores and the like.
Oh yeah, like it would be a little bit, like there is... Although you know Marla and that, it is known as the area of Seattle with the most supernatural unrest. So it takes a special kind of person who wants to open a shop too close to it.
Yep. So in between the very small, quirky grocery store and the corner store that does like lottery tickets and smokes, there's like a fortune teller hut.
Right.
Got it.
And while these skeletons seem to be sort of relaxed. Terry does know that there's a lot of undead, which is truly scary. Some of which might exist in the area.
What are you looking for?
Coffee shop. It's very important.
Okay, if you want coffee, I mean, doesn't your friend always have a lot?
Yeah, she's been busy. I think she had a group of people do a seance. I have to give her a call again soon and ask if it's all right to come visit.
Ah, okay. I don't remember seeing any coffee shops on the way, but I wasn't looking, to be honest. I was trying to imagine Cipher breaking into a house.
Yeah, with our luck, the door just wasn't locked.
Suppose that's, well,
Which would be just...
shouldn't have smashed the window.
Terrence is stressing about it again. He's like, I'm so glad that we didn't have to go too deep into deception for that, which is code for I'm really glad you didn't make me roll for it. Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
I would have rolled for deception.
I didn't want to die, so...
There was real frustration. That was the success with disadvantage right there. I didn't feel the need to add any more to it.
I almost turned my webcam on to be like, see what you've done to me?
There's the frown! I missed that frown.
Well, in any case, I'm not quite so curled in on myself anymore.
That's good.
Terrence is going to shoot George a text message saying, we've started walking down the street. When you're done dropping Cipher off, can you come pick us up too, please?
And he's like, there's a diner about 25-30 minutes walk from where you were, on the same street that the house was on. If you go there, I'll pick you up once I've dropped and dealt with the girl.
Terrence sends back a text message that just says thank you with about 14 exclamation marks.
Hang on. Did he text that, or did he say that?
Is he
texted
texting while
it.
driving?
That was a long text.
Yeah, it was, but I can give you a long text.
Oh, you texting, George? Are you texting, George? What you doing, George? You better be keeping an eye on the road, George. You got two passengers in the back. You got this one, wee little Wren, and myself. And I ain't even wearing a, what you would call it? A
Seatbelt.
seatbelt. Do you even have seatbelts in the back of this thing? She's looking around. Is
One.
there seatbelts in the back?
Get out of my cab, we're here. 2, I was texting one of my many mistresses.
What?
Is her name Woman?
You're kidding.
Would I kid to someone like you?
A taxi driver with a mistress? I just can't picture it. Anyway, she's opening up the door. And she's got this sort of amazed expression on her face. She gets out. Thank you, George.
Thank you, Cipher.
And she closes the door, and then she heads up to her apartment.
And he's on his way to get Terry and Wren.
Who may or may not have reached the diner, but Terrence has started texting Cipher now, and he's like, we got the house. It'll be ready in a couple days. You owe me 1,200 credits. I won't charge interest, says another text. And another text comes and it says, in your own time, whenever you can.
Cypher's texting back 1,200 a month? Question mark, 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 question mark. Confused face, question mark, send.
Terrence does a little pantomime of strangling his phone.
What's she done?
There's a lot of question marks. And he will send back a text, yes, $1,200 a month. So between the two of us, it'll only be $600 a month each. Which, I don't know about you, says another text, but that's what I was paying a week before. So this is definitely better.
You get a text back. It says 1,200 a week? Question mark, 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 question mark. Send.
You get a text message back that says, girly. And just like a bunch of dots. And then another text message comes and it says, $600 a month each. A month in capital letters.
Okay, I was wondering how you're going to emphasize that month.
Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god. Wren, what do you mean you spend $1,171 a week? That's insane. What do you need to upkeep for it to be that expensive?
That's how much my expenses are.
Oh man, no wonder you never have any money. Well, every time you run out of food, just come over, we'll feed you.
Okay. You don't have to.
I know we don't have to. I know that I don't have to. But the alternative is me finding out where you live against your will, and I think that would piss you off more.
Well, maybe.
Terrence grins. He's ordered a coffee from the diner they're at.
And it's clean. It's not a flashy diner, but the food smells okay. The coffee smells okay. So it's what you'd expect. It looks like there's definitely delivery drivers, taxi drivers. They seem to be when they're in between jobs. So that's what the type of clientele. And the coffee is reasonably large. It's not one of those tiny mugs. It's a quite large mug. And the waitress is around 50, and she's like, "There you go, dears," and she puts it in front of you and wanders off.
Thank you.
So where did Cipher go?
Theoretically back to her apartment to start packing. She stopped to go say hi to Mala first, though. But judging by how quick she was in and out, I think she just said hi, got spooked, and then left.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that she went in the first place. Considering how terrified she's been every time she's been there.
She's getting better. I'm really proud of her for that.
That's true.
And Terrence is just drinking his coffee.
And George arrives. He walks in, they're like, "Hey, George," and a couple of the drivers like wave at him, and he walks up, says, "Can I have a coffee?" "To go, thanks." And he walks over.
That was quick.
Hello.
Thank you for coming around so fast.
Yeah, not a problem. Mr. Fenneman says I am to prioritize your needs.
Oh.
Wow. That's that's the last thing I would have expected. Thank you. I'll have to make sure to thank Mr. Fenneman too.
Yeah. Are we going to Cipher's apartment? Where are we going?
Well, the only thing we have left to do on our current non-paying mystery job is to figure out what the heck to do with that thing I have. So I guess...
Oh,
Sorry, what?
no, we were supposed to talk to that person
Oh, yes.
that Mala said to talk to.
Did she ever mention how we could get in contact with him, though?
I don't remember.
Is he in the yellow pages?
I don't know.
Does this diner have, like, a phone booth?
It does, but God will say that she did give you the address.
Oh,
That
I'm
was,
pretty sure I said that.
That was-
she'd spoken. I'm pretty sure I haven't redone that one yet, but I'm pretty sure they did the. She said I don't fully trust this individual, but
She did say that.
She did say that. I have that in my notes, just not that we have an
I
address.
have I think she set up a meet sort of thing, like.
In a second, I could tell you exactly what she said.
And Becca has a message.
Oh dear. Oh no. Terrence goes to finish the rest of his coffee and then, like, he suddenly twitches rather violently. He spills some of it on him. And
what?
he's holding his head and he's like, God damn, that hurt. Ow.
What?
Uh,
What hurt?
Weird psychic headache.
Is that normal?
Well, considering the area, it might be. Certainly don't know what it means.
Huh.
And he's frowning a bunch. He's like, should probably get back soon, though. And
Okay.
he puts the rest of the coffee down on the table. He's not going to finish it anymore, and he leaves 5 credits.
And they give George a travel mug.
A travel mug or one of those paper cups?
He's got a travel mug.
Oh, nice.
He's a regular.
Shall we?
Yeah, when you're ready.
Yeah,
All right.
let's go.
Let's go.
And when he's leaving, say, "Hey, say hi to Crystal and the kids." And he like waves one of the drivers, and then he comes out and gets in. Where are we going?
My place.
Right, you are.
Thank you very much. And Terrence has got his phone out again. He's texting Cipher. He's like, heading over to my place to figure out what the heck to do with the statue thing. Come over when you're free. And then he puts his phone down in his lap. And then he looks kind of worried because the thought occurred to him that she might decide she's free right this second and be in his house with a kitten. Like raiding his fridge or something.
A kitten and a demon prison.
How easy is his house to break into?
He's got a regular key lock. It's like a tumbler lock.
Yeah, I think that screwed up Cipher.
She's confused by it. She keeps trying to go through the window. Basically, he's got the perfect lock to keep Cipher out of going through his front door.
Perfect.
So what are you going to do with your other problem?
Which other problem? There's so many you're gonna have to specify.
The statue?
Yeah, the thing that's trying to eat your head.
Just, I don't know what to do with it, man. Seriously, like, the best lead we have right now is talking to Genesys.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah, it's not fun when a run goes south.
Nope. Not fun at all.
Has this been your only one that's gone wrong?
So far?
It depends on what you count as going wrong, I guess.
Our employer died and we didn't get paid. That's pretty wrong.
No, I was talking about, I mean, you could consider the whole Mr. Book thing went wrong. I don't know.
True, but didn't we still get paid for that?
Kind of? Yeah.
Like, it was horrible, don't get me wrong, but we finished the job. It was done. This time, we were physically incapable of finishing the job.
We were physically almost dead, so yeah.
Pretty sure we're still almost dead. He's like, he can catch a glimpse of himself in the rearview mirror, and he's got these like horrible bags under his eyes.
That's true. Still not feeling all that great. Chalk wall.
Yep.
See, I'm not sure if you're gonna like one of the gifts I got for you, because you're not gonna have the added ambiance of terrifying us with that noise.
Wren's looking at her phone, and she's like, what is she doing?
Is it Cipher?
Yeah, you're gonna want to get that cat a litter box, because she's just sending me pictures of it pooping everywhere in her house.
Yeah, well, that happens when you feed any living, breathing creature, really.
Yeah, but she didn't seem to think a litter box was high priority, apparently.
Terrence pulls out his phone and he sends a text message to Mr. Fennyman. Know anybody who has some spare cat supplies?
A couple of minutes later, he's like, I'll ask around.
She's sending me emojis now.
I don't think she's gonna get her deposit back on that apartment.
Doesn't look like it.
I'm a little surprised, Terry. Normally I think you're a very smart individual.
What have I done to unimpress you this time?
Moving in with Cipher?
To be fair, I'm doing it 'cause I'm worried about the girlie. She doesn't take
Yeah.
care of herself.
Not sure she's going to take care of that cat.
Well, Terry's gonna be there, and I can always break in and check on it.
Alternatively, we can get you a spare key made.
Oh. I guess that's true.
And he pulls up outside of Terry's place.
Thank you again, as always, George. It's been a pleasure. And Terrence will get out.
Yep, so we'll run.
Look after yourselves.
Thank you. Terrence waves as he heads up the weird fire escape that leads to the only door to his apartment. It's really weird.
Thanks, George.
And Terrence will go inside his apartment. He'll leave the door open for Wren.
Who will walk in and close the door.
And he's going to go over to the space near the closet where they put the case with the statue thing in it. And he's going to open the case, and he's going to very carefully shuffle around the handkerchief with all the sigils on it until he can see the idol again, and he's checking the symbols on it to see if they've changed.
It has changed.
It changed. Good.
Yeah, most definitely different from when you looked before.
What's it doing?
The sigil and the idol changed again. And he carefully folds it back up in the napkin and closes the case. That headache I got earlier came with the number 6.
Oh, wasn't it at 11?
Yeah.
Before? Is it allowed to skip numbers? That doesn't seem fair.
Well, if it could send me a psychic pain that sharp from that far away, I assume it skipped a bunch of numbers because it exuded an enormous amount of power all at once.
Still doesn't seem fair. If you're gonna count down, you should have to actually count down.
Maybe it did. We just weren't close enough to it to actually have me hear it.
I guess.
Alarming, either way.
Yeah?
Terrence is gonna fish out his notebook and look for the information on Guessawain that Mala provided.
And he lives in a apartment block, and it's quite a decent one.
Is there any contact info?
There is an email that she gave you.
Alright. Terrence is going to pull out his phone and shoot another text to Cipher. Hey, we need you for email stuff. And then he sends another text. Please come over before this demon thing escapes and eats my brain. That's frightening.
The response is a roll.
You get no response.
There's no response?
Nope.
Terrence is staring at his phone, and then he looks over at Wren and he's like, she was talking to you. Is she just ignoring me?
I mean, she didn't answer my most recent text, but she was talking to me not that long ago.
Terrence picks up the case, and he's like, might as well go to her then, make sure she hasn't passed out from, I don't know, cat pee fumes or something.
If Cipher somehow immediately died from getting a kitten, that...
I wouldn't put it past her.
I know, that's the problem. She's the only one who could do that. Alright, let's go see if the cat managed to lock her in her secret room or something.
And Terrence heads out, holds the door for Wren, and then locks up after. And I walk over to Cipher's apartment.
Huh. I guess if she's locked in her secret bookcase room, though, she can't buzz us in.
Terrence looks at you and blinks for a second, and then he says, is that really a problem?
Well, it's the middle of the day.
Well, true, but lots of people live here. We could probably just... He's looking around, he's seeing if anybody's coming or going.
Oh, I thought you were saying you wanted me to break in. Never mind.
Yes, it is after 2 p.m. now.
Uh-huh.
It took us 25 minutes to walk to the diner. Maybe a 10 to 15 minute conversation with Dr. Becca, the real estate agent. So it's probably closer to 3 now.
All right, well, let's go.
So Terrence will head up to Cipher's apartment.
So
You get up to Cipher's apartment, and the front door is closed, but it's not locked.
Can we tell that just by looking at it?
The door's closed. That's impressive.
Well, the door's closed.
Terrence will reach out and try the door and find it unlocked, I guess. All right.
What are you two doing here? And she's got a litter tray in one hand. She's dressed in a pink parka, and she's got a box of kitten food in her right hand.
Terrence had jumped out of his skin as soon as she talked. So he's just like, oh my god. You scared me. We were trying to contact you and you weren't responding.
You did notice that there was a tome on the kitchen table.
Yeah, that would have definitely caught Terrence's attention. What's the title?
Uh-huh. Oh. Smeg.
Cipher didn't read the title.
Yeah, but Terrence did, and Adams walked himself very directly into a corner. There's an easy way out. There's no title on the cover.
Alchemy for beginners.
Oh. Is it one of Mala's books?
That'll be. Yep.
Oh, neat. Mala let you borrow that?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Well, you did say that I had to build a library.
Well, I said it would be a
And-
good exercise, but it's cool that you're taking a real interest in it.
I'm about halfway through, so, and I've already created a lot of the books, but they got no content, so I just need to put the content in now. So I've just been,
Thorough.
thought I would. What? What do you mean thorough? You said I had to build a library.
He didn't say you had to.
That's very thorough and, incredibly impressive.
It is.
How can you not have a library without books?
You've never played those video games where you're in a library but you can't interact with any of the books and most of them don't even have titles?
And her face suddenly goes from cheery to basic frown to really? That's not a library.
No, but it looks like one.
Yes. And it's not a library, is it?
That's fair. You know a lot more about virtual stuff than I do. He puts up his hands in a placating manner.
Do you need
Well,
any...
virtual or not.
Oh, sorry.
Well, virtual or not, they're not libraries. I mean, if you want a full interactive experience and completely immersive, it's the attention to detail. So, I've got all these ideas and thoughts in my head, and it's the ambience, the noise, the sounds. The sounds coming from the outside. You have to think about. It's the smell when you get in there, and the smells of the paper and the dusty atmosphere.
Hang on.
And
You can code smell in VR?
Of course. When you jack in, I mean, obviously you guys can't, but I can actually program it so that you said to do it for therapy reasons. So I can actually program it so that you guys will actually, if I ever share it, which I probably won't, you can actually program a VR to portray emotions through subliminal programming. So you guys actually get this programming through your visual receptors, and your brain interprets them in a way, but you actually don't see it, but you get the feeling of it.
Terrence is smiling at her as she babbles about stuff that he doesn't really understand, and he's like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But with me, however, I could just jack in, and because of this little plug on the side of my head.
All right.
And she's gently patting me.
Which one?
This is going to be a thing that I'm going to have to confirm now.
You've
this
done
is
this
gonna
to
be a HR
yours.
issue before long.
It's
She's pulled Wren out of her. She's pulled Wren out of her out of her Parker, and she's like patting it. Oh, little Wren. Wren the trash can.
Terrence is going to start helping Cipher set up the litter tray and the food bowls and such. And
Wren will be cleaning. Sorry.
And he's going to say to her, I was thinking we could go over to this Gaswain guy and sort out the issue of the demon prison statue thing before something horrible happens, because the countdown has rather rapidly sped up.
Yeah. 12, 11, 6, 5, what was it?
6.
6.
Are you telling me this demon can't count?
I suppose that's one possibility.
Maybe. It's sending me headaches now, and I would like for that to stop.
Yeah, that's not good.
I don't know if I can do anything about that, but what did you want me to do, Terrence?
Terrence gives her the email for Gaswain. Could you send him an email and let him know that we're coming over? And stress the urgency of the issue?
Well, not just that. Alright, she opens up. Oh, she puts Wren down. She just. This is going to play on words. She puts Wren down on the floor, and the kitty tray and the litter and the cat food up on the bench. And she opens up her laptop, turns it on, it fires up to live.
Can't tell if that hand rubbing sound was Aaron or Adam.
Not me.
But it was
That was me.
Oh God.
Cipher preparing to.
Cipher preparing. She's rubbing her hands together. Email.
Yes. The most evil thing you can possibly do. Send an email.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I could hack into a bank, and you want me to email. Do you need me to roll, Mr. God
No.
person?
To send an email?
She's praying for luck on this email, and God's just like, what?
You could just send that.
What's his name?
Guess Wayne.
And that stumps Cipher.
Stumped me too. I just spelt it how it sounds.
Gaswain?
Jesus Christ.
And he's not a fan.
All right.
Is she showing this email to
It's
us after she sent it?
Uh-huh. She's like, hit send. And I was like,
Terrence is like, he's got his hands over his eyes and he's kind of like, it's like he's trying to rub sleep from them. And then he like moves to rub at his temples and he's like, oh, I'm not sure if this headache is from you or the demon anymore.
I don't know if we are going to be there in 15 minutes, Cipher. Are we?
oh, I just put 15 minutes because you said it was urgent, so I just assumed that we'll be heading there as soon as possible. He's not in the other in another country, is he?
Well,
Terrence
no.
looks at his notebook. No, but he's not exactly close. He's in a nicer part of town.
Okay, ask Terrence to get George to drive a bit faster, maybe?
Terrence pulls out his phone and he calls George.
Okay.
Okay. Looks like you're going to be spending a wee bit time by yourself.
Will she be okay?
Please don't be lonely. Here. Oh, damn it, I don't have that yet.
No, but you have other
yeah,
stuffed animals.
toys.
Yeah.
Yes. And she races into her room.
Which is in the
I
same
also was
room as
about to
everything
say-
else. From what I remember.
Pulls out one of her stuffed toys.
I also was about to say, well, just give it the stuffed chicken.
I don't have the stuffed chicken.
No, you
yet.
don't.
Not
Nope.
yet. Not yet.
Not for 2 weeks.
Though, to be fair, I think if you knew what Terrence was going to give her for Christmas, you wouldn't have messed up the timeline so hard to bring that kitten into the Christmas episode. But then you wouldn't have been so distracted to miss your auction either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit sorry about that now that I've come down from my very proud of myself moment.
Yeah, that's okay. These things happen. Wasn't your fault. It's completely my fault. But you did do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You did.
And it really threw me because I already knew what was going on in the in the actual timeline.
Another cat.
Extra distracting.
Why does he have to live in a nice part of town?
Some people can afford better.
Yeah, well, don't want to go there.
Why not?
Don't like it.
Well, I gathered that much. I mean, why?
Don't like rich people.
I tend to only like rich people when they're paying me myself, but I don't inherently hate them all.
Don't hate them all either. You just don't like them.
Well, Cipher's looking at a laptop.
Terrence
He actually responded.
Terrence leaves
Really?
over.
Wow. It's like this guy's sitting around with, he's got no time on his hands but to answer his emails.
Yeah, this guy
Hey, what?
sounds great.
He wants me to cast an air rune. How do I do that?
I know how to do it. Terrence, like, he perks up and then he gets, like, super self-conscious and he puts his hand down and he's like, it's not that hard.
I
I
mean,
don't like this repercussions for the insult. I didn't insult him today.
what was the insult? Just not getting his name?
She wrote Mr.
Yep.
Guess Wayne. Like, he's the
But that's what you
he's the
said.
distant cut-off cousin of Batman or something.
Yep.
Now that would be pretty cool.
Please don't.
I regret
Tell him
putting
that.
that idea into your head, Cipher. I regret it so much. There aren't words for the amount of regret I have in my person right now.
He already sounds
You
stuck
can
up and
you can actually see the ticking going on in her head about bats and
vampires.
anyway, she's watching you cast this air rune spell.
No, he's not doing it currently. He just
Oh, no.
said he knows
Oh,
how, and he put up his hand like he was in school, and then he felt like an idiot and put his hand down again and kind of like slouched his shoulders.
Well, how long will it take us to get there?
Well, it's not like how long it'll take us to get there is big of an issue. And, like, Terrence's phone beeps because George never answered. And he's like, oh, probably better. Because, and he leans over and reads over Cipher's shoulder again. The guy said meet him at 6.
Yeah, what time is it now?
Probably closer to 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence's goggle maps-ing the address to see how far it is from Cornerstones.
About 45, 50 minutes.
Alright. Looks like we actually have time to go have a quick dinner first.
Or we could just go and turn up early.
And what, break in, Cipher?
I would rather...
Well, I'm assuming he's there just answering emails, so...
Terrence has
He already...
his hands in front of his mouth and he's like... Cipher. Mala said this guy was a powerful mage. She has at best referred to me as a middling mage. I would not be able to protect you if he decided to smack you upside the head with magic.
Okay.
So we should probably not show up too early.
He already sounds annoyed.
10 minutes is fine.
All right.
An hour, not so much.
Cornerstones then?
Well, don't forget 5 o'clock's going to be around peak hour traffic time, so you might want to take that into consideration.
Noted.
Got it.
Alright, shall we head to
You almost said
Cornerstones and
Fenimans.
have some dinner
Yeah,
first?
that's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Are you bringing the cat? Or are you leaving the cat?
I'll leave Wren. The cat has a name.
I know, but it's... Okay, it's weird for me to call the cat Wren. Okay? I will, but it's weird.
We'll call it Wren Trash Goblin. Gremlin.
No, that's okay. I'll stick with Wren.
We could call her RTG.
Okay.
Or WTG.
Well, Cipher puts down some kitten food, grabs a backpack, puts her laptop in there, and I guess she's ready to go.
Wren will look at the cat very seriously and say, "Goodbye, Wren. See you later." See, it's weird.
Cipher bends down and gives the little kitten a kiss on the top of the head. Nope, not weird at all.
No, the cat's not weird. The cat's very cute.
Terrence is smiling and heading out the door.
Yeah, Wren will follow, but
Yep, Cipher will lock the door.
excellent. Wren was going to make sure she did.
Terrence was going to mention cat burglars if she didn't.
Yeah, you got a cat now. If you don't lock your door, what if someone comes and steals your cat?
Burgles the cat.
Burgers. Just the cat. Leaves the expensive computer equipment.
Well, the
alone.
expensive
very cute
computer
cat.
equipment is hidden behind a bookcase.
And heavy. The cat is not heavy.
Alright. Are we taking George or are we just walking?
I mean, it's not far.
To Cornerstones, no?
Nope, it's about 10 minutes.
Let's just walk.
Okay, we're there.
Yep.
Anytime?
Yep, we're there right now. This very second.
Yep, it's...
So 10 minutes has passed. So it's a little bit after 4.
Sure.
Cipher is, like, studiously keeping track of time for some reason.
She's really worried we're gonna be late.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's a bit concerned that he said there will be repercussions.
Mr. Lambert and Mr. Fenniman are standing by the stage. Upon it, the club band, a mix of humans, elves and a troll, are all dressed in tuxedos, and they've put up their swing instruments in favour of more modern ones. A fairy is hovering nervously as the band begins to play.
Are you okay? I've seen all your struggles, I know about your pain. I feel all of your needs. Get anytime.
it's over, Mr. Fennyman looks to Lambert and nods before walking to the bar. Lambert looks back to the fairy, grinning, and gives her a big thumbs up. The fairy starts to zip with excitement as the other fairies from Cornerstones fly over to surround her in a big group hug.
So, barkeep, I'll have a steak and chips if we're getting some dinner before we go.
Alright.
Terrence will get fish and chips.
And about 5 minutes later, the fairies spin over and put it in front of you.
You getting anything, Wren?
I don't have any money.
You can have some of my potatoes. They're vegetable-y.
Okay, they're vegetable-y.
You can order something. I'll cover it this time.
No, I feel bad. You have to pay for a house and whatever.
That's already covered for the first month.
Yeah,
The alternative is me finding out where you live.
good luck.
Terrence smiles really big and he's like, I have a way.
And what's that?
That would be telling.
Cipher's eyes are really wide, as if she's just come up with a new idea.
Because if I tell you what the way is, Cipher's going to know, and that would be bad.
What is it, Cipher? You look either terrified or happy?
She's quiet. She slides on closer to Red. Here, have some of me chips. And she's like looking at you with the biggest grin on her face.
Okay. Wren will take one and eat it.
She's trying to convince you not to order food, so I find out where you live.
Oh.
Just order something for yourself, Wren. Doesn't have to be anything big. Get a pie if, like, you're looking for something small.
Okay, I'll get that then.
And Terrence is casually looking around the bar to see who's there.
Lambert's there, Fennyman's there, some of the locals are there, lunchtime crowd.
Lunchtime crowd at 4.
Yep, they turned up at lunch, they're still there.
Ah, okay.
Some of them are breakfast crowd, that become lunchtime crowd, that become evening crowd,
That have become.
that finally
I
go
just
home.
spend my whole day here in crowd.
Well, we can't really pass judgment on that. We do that a lot.
Yep, certainly can't do that. Says Wren, who was here fairly early in the morning.
And Terrence will get up and go over and talk to Lambert for a moment.
He's over at the bar.
Not about anything in particular. This is me just trying to casually pass the scene.
Yeah.
Cipher, what do you mean your fries are vegetable-y?
Full of tasty goodness.
Okay. I'm still confused. That's fine. It's a normal state of being.
Well, I really only got the steak and chips for the steak, so
I thought you said you liked potatoes.
I do.
Huh? Then eat them.
But I'm sharing them with you.
Okay, sharing means
just
you
got a
have
wee
some
little
too.
pie. Yes, and I will have some.
Okay.
After you have some first.
I've had some.
Okay, I'll have one.
Great.
And she picks up one and puts it in her mouth. She's looking at you while she's chewing it slowly.
I am really confused.
Terrence happens to glance
Are
over
you-
and he's like, they're like bickering siblings.
They've been like that for a while.
Yeah.
Dad.
Terrence like shoots a glance at Lambert.
He's smirking.
Smoking what?
Smirking.
Oh, smirking. I was like,
He's smirking.
Lambert smokes.
just
Excuse me.
No, he is,
Smoking a pipe.
no, he is most definitely smirking.
Got it.
Almost to the point of smugness, but not quite.
It's getting there. So what does that make you, Lambert? Uncle. He puts up like finger quotes.
I'm not sure I want to think about it.
Terrence smiles really big because he got him back. Alright, go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
Wait, what? Do I have an uncle?
What?
Is Lambie my uncle?
What are you talking about?
Terrence was...
Oh, I forgot. You've got good
Sounds-
hearing, don't you? What are they saying?
She's got a big smirk on her face.
Well, I ain't gonna be the mother.
She leans closer to Wren, and she says, Uncle Lambie.
What? I have no idea.
That's me. That's me, Uncle Lambie.
Okay.
Not related though, you see.
No, I didn't see a family resemblance.
Because there's a family resemblance between Cipher and Terrence. Oh, man.
Yep, I'm the smart one.
What? That's not what a family resemblance is.
Cypher's finished off her steak and chips.
Yeah, Wren finished all the food she had fairly quickly.
I'm gonna take this moment of companionship and cornerstones to ask a question of God. I thought of this question yesterday and I completely forgot to ask. Terrence knows a thing now.
Excellent.
Cipher also knows a thing.
And what thing is that?
Well, she can't tell you because then that would mean that you would know it.
I know.
Actually, Cipher knows 2 things. Actually, no, 3 things.
That
Wren?
many,
No.
huh?
Wren knows a bunch of things. She's never counted how many things she knows.
Alright, unless you guys want to do something else before we call up George.
Nope.
Nope. I'm good to go.
Yeah. Alright. So, Terrence will, say his farewells to Lambert and then head over to the other two and call up George.
Hello. Sorry, I was busy before.
Oh, no worries. It ended up working out. Could we get a ride to this address?
Yeah, sure thing.
Excellent. It is possible to get there by 6, right?
Yeah, I'll take the highway.
Alright, sounds good. See you soon.
And a few minutes later, he's outside.
Alright. Terrence will get into the cab.
So will Wren.
And so will Cipher.
And it takes close to it, but not quite. Definitely much better part of town. And you pull outside of a flashy apartment block, and there is 4 orcs outside dressed in suits.
It's fancy.
Wow.
And there's definite bulges under their arm.
Okay. Terrence will very carefully get out of the cab, and he says as he's getting out, "Thank you, George."
No problem. Be careful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, George. And Cipher gets out of the cab as well.
Yeah, Wren's getting out of the cab.
Terrence looks kind of confused, and he's staring at the orc guards. Kind of bites his lip a little bit and then walks forward. And then he says to them, "Is there a particular place you would like me to perform the secret code of entry?"
Boss said if you're a practitioner, you can do it. Impress me.
Terrence looks confused, and he's like, "It's not all that impressive." And
I don't think the boss thinks you are either.
now that's just rude.
Remember, he thinks he's dealing with Cipher.
That's fair. All right. So Terrence rolls up his sleeves, and he draws some symbols in the air with his hands. And some sparks happen, but and the symbol does show up, but aside from that, it just kind of fizzles out, and he frowns. And hell, those yellow dice really didn't help me at all, did they?
They didn't. Oh.
And he frowns, and he kind of like shrugs his shoulders, and he's like, "Hang on, let me do that again."
Cypher's like, "Oh, so pretty, but aren't you supposed to be drawing like a rune or
Yeah,
something?"
he's working on it.
And he does it again. And it takes a mild, solid but translucent form in this runic symbol, and some wind whips around.
Huh.
And he grins. And it's a toothy grin. And it's not a friendly grin. And he looks back, and one of them presses a button, and you hear a buzz, and the door opens.
"Charming," says Terrence. Oh, goodness. I'm supposed to be good at this.
And two orcs are in the building. You can see them in the hallway. Go on in.
Do we stride forward, I guess?
Wren's certainly not
Cypher's
striding.
following.
She's fairly hesitant, but I guess she'll go.
And one orc leads, and one is behind. And it's very flashy on the inside. And it's a foyer, but it doesn't really seem to be a foyer for lots of people. You're not getting the impression that people in the building would ever be hanging here like you would in a normal foyer. Like, this entire building may not have lots of people. And the lift opens, and the first orc goes in.
Terrence will follow, because he is trying to put on airs that he doesn't feel severely outclassed. I mean, he heckin' struggled with something he said was easy. But he's not letting it show. He's standing up straight. He's got his arms folded across his chest. He's got his chin up. He's like, I'm not impressed by this.
The orc nudges Cipher if she's still standing in the hall.
Yep, she was standing looking around. And then realizing she was just standing there in a daze, she starts walking after Terrence.
Yeah.
And then the last orc goes in. And they press what would be probably the penthouse. And a glowing light goes over the orc that pressed it. And Terry would know that that is an identification spell. And then the lift starts to go up. 42 floors.
Are there more buttons on this thing?
Yep.
Terrence pointedly stands in between Cipher and the buttons after seeing the look on her face.
Because she instantly got that look
Yeah.
on her face. Like, if you were looking, you would have seen her facial expression just go one of, wow, this is... Oh my goodness.
Yep, he blocks her view of the
So
buttons.
many... So many buttons.
Wren is staring at the floor and does not see Cipher want to press all the buttons.
Terrence says in a very low voice, Cipher, we're here for work. Be professional, okay?
But...
He gives her a hard look. No buts.
Okay, Dad.
He frowns, but he doesn't say anything.
Cipher's looking really dejected at the moment. She's sort of like kicking the floor.
And the lift comes to the top. And the entire top floor is one apartment. And there's all sorts of paintings and statues and items and just various artwork that seems to come from all over the place. And there's about 6 orcs, all very well dressed, clearly armed. And there is a man, and he looks about maybe 60, and he's got long dark hair and a very neat beard, and he's wearing a very expensive suit. Because I respect Marla, I have agreed to see you. My name is Geswain. And that's where we will end. Shadowrun, a slice of life adventure in a dystopian future, starring Becca as Terry the Mage, RavenInsane as Cipher the Hacker, Emily as Wren the Thief, and Ghost as the GM. The excellent Shadowrun is produced by Catalyst Game Labs. The Genesys rule set comes from Fantasy Flight Games, and many of the sounds and music comes from Syrinscape, which is an amazing tool for bringing more life to your game table. This has been a Crit Fail production.